Week 8 is here. Dolphins are 5-3, coming to Chicago to take on our 3-5 Chicago Bears. In preview of this upcoming Sunday's game, Justin Fields has a new target to help open up the offense in Chase Claypool, which he will play this Sunday. It has been confirmed by offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. Each team's ranking, injury report, 3 keys to the game, and score predictions. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside my good friend and co-host Tony Sapita. Bears versus Dolphins preview is here today. We are excited to bring it to you guys. Tony, let's kick it off right away. How did the Chase Claypool trade impact this roster as a whole and the Bears offense?
Oh, immensely. Ryan Poles is an absolute genius. I think I'm saying this all, of course, before we see him in action for the Bears, but on paper, I think this was an incredible move. And just like you and I know, and I think Ryan Poles knows it too, Justin Fields is the guy. So he wants to make sure he helps. He wants to make sure he helps him grow into the long-term solution for the Bears quarterback position, because I don't know if you guys have heard it before, but we've struggled at that position historically. Haven't had, a 4,000 yard passer in a season, et cetera, et cetera. So, finally making sure to prioritize that position. That's what's important.
But there's good and bad. There is good and bad to every trade deadline, especially for the Bears.
Yeah.
No, there's, but
just kidding.
No, there's not. No, the Bears made every move possible, right? They did for the long term, but right now, I mean, the Bears are not. If they didn't go for Claypool, they would not be trying to compete. I think that the Bears knew that they are still rebuilding. They're going to give this thing a shot. But Ryan Poles has enough draft picks that make up for 3 draft spots higher, in my opinion. I think he has more of an opportunity to get playmakers. But you get a playmaker in Chase Claypool. So this is the good of the trade deadline. There's no denial of that. You also get Byron Pringle back this week, and you have N'Keal Harry, who caught his first touchdown as Chicago Bear last week against Dallas Cowboys. But the defense is significantly weaker on paper. We could be shocked. Like Jack Sanborn, who has been confirmed to get more playing time this upcoming Sunday, could be a difference maker in this game. I'm excited to see who steps up, but I'm also a little nervous about the Miami offense. Tony's got plenty of comments to hit on about the Miami offense. So let's get into the Bears offense versus the Miami defense to start things off. This is where we bring in our rankings. Chase Claypool will play this Sunday for the Chicago Bears, according to Luke Getsy. He will be limited, but how limited? I don't know. It could be 3/4 of the game plan that they had, half the game, quarter of the game. Who knows? Or Luke Getsy could just be saying that he's going to have Chase Claypool out there every single offensive play. Byron Pringle is also eligible to play this Sunday. He will likely be limited as well due to coming off of the injury, first game in 5 weeks, but a good veteran to have on the field and was having success with Justin Fields before he suffered his injury against the Houston Texans. And N'Keal Harry will have more of a role. He started seeing more reps against the Dallas Cowboys. His first game was against the New England Patriots. And likely because of this, you're going to see him, St. Brown, and Mooney all being the guys mainly on the field, but you will see Claypool and Pringle. Sorry, I was about to cough. Didn't cough. We're good to go. Tony, all things considered, though, what are your thoughts on Fields' passing game now entering this game with having some of these weapons back?
Yeah, I think he's going to thrive. It's going to be a tough matchup, which we'll kind of get into in a second, which it actually might be a little easier than we may have. Again, I'm just teasing here. Maybe a little easier than we expected. Nick's got a little, news to hit on with the Dolphins defensive side. But Fields does have that one new, what I would officially dub as a weapon. Of course, we haven't seen him yet.
Yes.
Still, just going to throw it out there. But I'd officially dub it a weapon to go along with Mooney. So he's the deep ball threat. I guess so is Mooney too. But Mooney be the quick underneath. In my opinion, I think that's what they'll do. I'm not an offensive coordinator. I don't know for sure. But either way, it should be at least 215 passing yards. It depends on how the game flows going. If they're absolutely running the ball down their throat, whatever it may be, obviously that might change. But I think he's capable of really opening up that rocket arm he has.
I think it's good. I said the same thing. I even tweeted about it. I think that the Bears are going to have their first 200-yard plus passing game this upcoming Sunday against the Dolphins, because the Dolphins defense, especially their passing defense, is not that good. Bears offensive ranks in total offense, they rank 27th. They're up one spot after the Cowboys game, one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, which is very impressive in my opinion. A lot of people aren't talking about that enough, just from a just another year standpoint. But Also, that I'm just putting that out there. But we're going to keep talking about the offense here for a minute.
I agree.
But they scored 29 on the Dallas Cowboys. They had 371 passing yards. So again, 27th ranked. They had 370 plus offensive yards total in the last 3 games in a row. That's pretty impressive. The offense is starting to heat up. Passing is still 32nd. There is no denial of that. Fields still has yet to get over a 200-yard plus game, but he's improving. He has his best passer rating, he has best completion rating, and he had his most touchdowns of the season so far. But our rushing is still ranked first with a total of 1,507 yards, 188.4 rushing yards per game. Kind of helps when your quarterback's averaging 80 rushing yards over the last 3 games. Going to the Dolphins defensive ranks real fast in regards to the Bears offense is that the Dolphins defense is ranked 23rd. So not that good, much worse than the Dallas Cowboys. And we put 29 points up against them. Passing, they're ranked 26, went against a top 10 last week and we still had success. So that's a good part there. And rushing, this is where Miami is strong, especially with bringing in Chubb after the trade. They're ranked 6. So Bears will be challenged, but it could be more of a fun battle here. And according to reports, Chubb will be limited against the Chicago Bears.
Wow. That was the news I was talking about there. So that's now we're kind of in like what we were, the situation we were in with Micah Parsons last week, where how much are they going to use him? How much of an impact is he going to have? The Dolphins are overall a good football team. So I am a little worried because there's a reason that Tua was out, obviously. So they're kind of getting back to their early season form. But obviously we're talking the defense. So what I love the most about Justin Fields, and this will be my one comment, Nick, you can go into yours here. Justin Fields has been very safe with the football from an interception standpoint. The fumbles were a little weird with the Patriots and everything. I know he's lost a ton, but recovered most of them back. I think he has no interceptions in his last 3 weeks, I believe it is.
He has 2. He has 2, but the last 2 weeks he hasn't.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. So he's just been very efficient passing the football, which I've appreciated. It almost seems like every pass he's thrown it's not just all these tons of little dump offs and just little screen passes that don't go anywhere. It has been, those are big yards. We need those yards, and he's got them. So I've been enjoying that personally. I think that'll be very good against this not great Dolphins passing defense, but a good probably pass rush coming in here.
Yeah, and also anyone that's saying that Claypool is not a weapon, is not a wide receiver 1, you're just in denial. Why else would Ryan Poles trade a 2nd-round pick for him? I just want to put that out there. 6'4", 238, blocking especially. He's going to be a huge, huge help this upcoming weekend, especially against that tough Miami rush defense. Let's go into the Bears defense. I'm saying no Roquan, no problem. The Bears defense is coming off their worst game of the season, though. I promise I'm going to come back to my point. They allowed 42 points, which is not a good thing. Some of those points were on an offensive turnover, so you can't credit all of Dallas's 49 points to the defense. They allowed 442 yards total against the Dallas Cowboys, 242 passing, which is better. But 200 yards total rushing. It was just Tony Pollard just went crazy. Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn were traded. That's the elephant in the room. But, the leading tackler in the NFL and last year's franchise sack leader. Roquan Smith was not happy in Chicago. I'm just putting that out there. He only had 4 tackles against the Cowboys after Robert Quinn was traded, after Roquan Smith was pretty upset about it. And Robert Quinn did not fit in Alan Williams' defense. So, I think that the guys that are drafted that Ryan Poles is building off of are more designed for Alan Williams' defense and Matt Eberflus' defense. I think that's where the benefit's going to be there. A lot of younger guys are going to get a chance. Like I said earlier, Jack Sanborn is likely to be the starter, according to Alan Williams. He hasn't said yes or no yet, but that's a good thing there. And Dominique Robinson is going to be a big factor against the Miami Dolphins. So other rookies will also get a chance. Bears defensive rankings are ranked 16th as of right now, down 4 spots after the Dallas Cowboys game. They're ranked 5th in passing, down 2 last week, and their rushing is still 31st, which is not that good. But Miami's offensive ranks, Miami's ranked 7th in the NFL with 380.6 yards per game. Passing, they're ranked 3rd with 296, but their rushing is poop. 28th in the league, 88.1 yards per game. I'm just going to get into this real quick, Tony. You can go off it if you want. The Dolphins offense is the perfect matchup for the Chicago Bears defense. Our biggest strength on defense is their biggest strength on offense. Their biggest weakness on offense is our biggest weakness on defense. And I think it's going to make it a fun game. I think it gives the opportunity that we're going to see a different game plan from the Miami Dolphins because they haven't been up against a perfectly matched defense so far this year. But that's all I'm going to say to that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. My first quick comment, Tua is fantastic, unfortunately. So that's gonna be fun to deal with. We're dealing with an arguably slower, but kind of not mirror image, but potentially what Justin Fields could look like, what we're hoping he looks like in the future, where it's kind of that guy that can move. And he maybe struggled at the start, but people kept building around him, got his new coach. We potentially are looking at a portal into the future here. I will comment on their run game. I know their rushing offense hasn't been great this year. They did get Jeff Wilson, who is probably what stinks is his first week he's going to play.
So he'll probably be limited too.
He probably will be, but when he does play, I think he's going to be like, I didn't get my chance to prove myself in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan was keep me under lock and key. I'm ready to go nuts against as we know, weak Bears rushing defense. So that part I am a little scared of. I think we're gonna get I think Eddie Jackson's gonna up his interception total. That's my prediction here.
He's been hot lately. Last 3 or 4 games, he has had an interception. Let's go to injuries real quick here for the Chicago Bears. Kyler Gordon is questionable with a hip injury, likely to play. Eddie Jackson also with a hip injury is questionable, likely to play. And Tevin Jenkins is a full goal after his back injury. Happy to hear that. A few big Dolphins players that are potentially out this upcoming weekend. Teron Armstead was limited all week in practice due to a toe injury. Xavier Howard, cornerback, has not practiced since this week, so he is doubtful for this game. And John Jenkins is also likely out this upcoming weekend. Jerome Baker is also likely out this weekend. So that's what we're getting from our injury report sources. Stay tuned for that, and that's from the Miami Dolphins website. So just want to put that out there as well. Tony, let's go into 3 keys of the game very quickly. I'll just start real quick. Use Chase Claypool as much as you can. I know they want to limit him, but having him out there opens up everything. Number 2, Jack Sanborn needs to be the steal of the undrafted rookie free agent market. Huge shoes to fill for Roquan Smith. But again, I said no Roquan, no problem. This is why there's no problem. Jack Sanborn is a hell of a player. And throw it deep. Dolphins have the weakest secondary we've gone against so far this season. And Fields is going to be more confident and is getting more confident every single game. Air it out and go crazy.
Yep. Just check Twitter. No more new news. So we're sitting, holding pat, whatever the word is. My 3 keys. First key, run the ball. Keep running the ball. Keep Bradley Chubb honest. I know
he's limited.
I know we just need Justin Fields. And I guess this goes into my second key here too, which is move Justin around, but keep running him. It's just working. Just keep doing what you're doing. That is my key. My first 2 keys are continue to do what you've been doing. You've been having success. And the third key, I'm just keeping it nice, broad, and simple here because we're playing a good team, I will say. So it's not, this might not be a fun game for Chicago, but be smart and disciplined. The Dolphins are really good. We can't give them extra opportunities. We have to, no free yards. Make all your field goals, Cairo Santos. You've been doing great so far, knock on wood. Those are my 3 keys.
Yeah, absolutely. And quickly, we'll go into our score predictions right now. Score predictions. I'm going the Bears are going to win this game. They looked really good on offense. I just think Miami is not there. I'm sorry. Like, Miami's going to come to Chicago. They're not going to like the weather conditions. I got Bears 28, Dolphins 21. Bears are back at home for the first time in 3 weeks. Chase Claypool hype is in the building, and Getsy's going to be continuously expanding this playbook.
I have the Bears winning, obviously, of course, because they are going to crush them 33-25. I guess it's not really crushing them. I will say the weather report just checked it. It has changed recently. It's 65 and sunny. It's supposed to be terrible, cold, and rainy, I think, but the weather's finally changed. So that's unfortunate. Next week would have been a good time to play the Dolphins. I will say it's going to be 40 degrees. Oh, but Justin Fields, either way, is going to go absolutely nuts. Chase Claypool, 2 touchdowns. I think that's fair to say.
Sure. Why not?
Eddie Jackson, an interception, and Justin Fields is going to have another breakout game against a good team.
I love the sound of that. I love the optimism from Tony, and I hope you guys are optimistic as well. Please go in the comments and give your predictions of the game, and also make sure to hit that subscribe button. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody. Joining us, I have my good friend and co-host Tony Spita, and we'll see you guys next time.